Things that I don't understand, part 1. Why are there so much less left-handed people than there are right-handed people? Shouldn't it be 50-50? We have to pretend that we're sleeping in order to fall asleep. Why do we have a full brain if we're only going to use 10% of it? What would a chair look like if our knees bent the other way? I don't even want to talk about the fact that we've only explored 5% of the ocean and literally don't know what's in the other 95%. If you're bald, what color hair do they put on your driver's license? Why are the letters of the alphabet in that order? Things I don't understand, part 2. Why do cats purr? Like, what is that? Why is it called a boxing ring when it's actually a square? What color is a mirror? So you're telling me that the earth is constantly spinning, but I'm just sitting here chilling and I don't feel a thing. Why is the time with the slowest traffic called rush hour? Is there storage capacity on memories? Things I don't understand, part 3. Who came up with bad words? Like, who said a word and was like, nope, you can't say that, that's bad. Is it possible to stand backwards on the stairs? Are eyebrows considered facial hair? Do fish get thirsty? If God sneezes, what do you say? Things I don't understand, part 4. If you punch yourself and you cry, are you weak or strong? How do you write a 0 in Roman numerals? Why do they make cars that go so fast if it's illegal? What shape is the sky? Why can you drink a drink, but you can't food a food? If practice makes perfect, but nobody's perfect, then why would you practice? Things I don't understand, part 5. Which orange came first, the color or the fruit? If you drop soap on the floor, is the floor clean or is the soap dirty? Do crabs think that fish are flying? If a number 2 pencil is the most popular, then why is it still number 2? If you're born deaf, what do you hear when you think? And if you're born blind, what do you see in your dreams? Where does a memory go when it's forgotten? Things I don't understand, part 6. When did we start smiling in photos, and what's up with the whole say cheese thing? Like, why did that catch on? Why do all my socks disappear in the laundry? The whole daylight savings thing doesn't really sit right with me because I'm just freaking exhausted and it gets dark at 5 p.m. Like, why? Hear me out, the smallest size drink at Starbucks is called a tall. Why? We might as well change the name of a venti to a short. So we can see water, but we can't see air. So can fish see air, but they can't see water? How far up do bald people go when they're washing their face? Things I don't understand, part 7. Where do all my hair ties go? If an orange is orange, then why isn't a lime called a green and a lemon called a yellow? What shape is your field of vision? If a mime gets arrested, do they tell him that he has the right to remain silent? If you only have one eye, are you blinking or winking? If a cow laughed, would milk come out of its nose? Things I don't understand, part 8. What are hiccups and like why? Why don't British people sound British when they're singing? What's up with gaseous planets? Like how, what? Why is yawning contagious? I just watched that back and now I'm even more confused. Like, what is a yawn? So how did they wake up early before there were alarm clocks? You ever see how there's like ivy that grows up the side of buildings? How did it not just like fall off? So like when you're on an airplane and it gets really bumpy and they're like, oh, there's turbulence. What is turbulence? How is there turbulence? Things I don't understand. Part 9. What is cracking your knuckles? Like, what is happening there? How are we gonna just assume the color of dinosaurs? Because the only thing that's been found is fossils with no skin remains, so they could have been tie-dye for all we know. Someone had to try all the food to make sure it wasn't poison. Why does everybody sleep with a blanket? How do little tiny waves make my food hot when I put it in the microwave? How does the same food taste different to different people? Why's there gotta be so many languages? Wouldn't it be easier if we all just spoke the same thing? How on earth did they figure out what medicine works for what? Things I don't understand. Part 10. What type of sorcery is a chameleon? Like, how does that work? If identical twins marry identical twins, are their kids gonna look the same? Why do our teeth fall out if they're just gonna grow back? Like, why don't they just grow with us? Who looked at the middle finger and was like, nope, you can't use that, that's bad? In theory, what would happen if you could just dig straight down? Where does wind come from? What would happen if I hired 2 private investigators to follow each other? If water is H2O, meaning it has oxygen in it, then why can't we breathe underwater? Things I don't understand. Part 11. Can animals get acne? Where does the garbage disposal go? Who decided it would be a good idea to just poke holes in your ears to put gems in them? Why was there no iPhone 9? Did you guys know that this thing is called an ampersand? Because I literally did not know that. When you're going under one of those things in a toll booth or a parking garage, how doesn't it just karate chop your car? How on earth did people get places before there was GPS? Things I don't understand. Part 11. How do scientists know what % of the ocean they've discovered if they haven't discovered it all? If you get out of the shower clean, how does the towel get dirty? If tomatoes are considered a fruit, then isn't ketchup technically a smoothie? If two vegans are fighting, is it still considered beef? How does a screen work? Like, how does it know that I'm touching the like button? How does a record work? Like with the needle and the music? What? How did someone invent the internet without the internet? How did the first bilingual person learn the right translations between languages? Things I don't understand. Part 12. Where does candle wax go? How do roads just go everywhere? How do we all have different handwriting if we all learned from the same letters? Who taught the first teacher? How do glasses work? Like literally a piece of glass in front of your eye makes you see better. And who even thought of that? How do mirrors work? And what even is it? How can I see my reflection in that? How and why do we have different blood types? Wouldn't it be easier if we all had the exact same one and could donate to everybody? How do we know that we're all seeing the same colors? I could be seeing red in my eyes and you could be seeing blue, but we were both told it was red, so we both think it's red. Things I don't understand. Part 13. We're all in different time zones. So what time is it actually? Who's right? What if you're not a human experiencing life, but your life experiencing a human? How do we know that everything from history is true and someone didn't just decide to make a bunch of stuff up one day and write it down? Do cats have shoulders? It's impossible to imagine a new color. Are we supposed to know what we look like? Because mirrors were made by humans, and without them, we would have no idea. How does the moon affect the tide? How does the moon make waves on the shore? Things I don't understand. Part 14. Is ice a rock? And if it is, does that make water lava? Why are they trying to do so much with lavender? Is it a plant? Is it a scent? Is it a flavor? Is it a color? There's this one type of shrimp called a mantis shrimp, and apparently they can see more colors than humans can see, but if we can't see the colors, then how do we know that they can see more colors? Is cereal soup? So the earth is just floating in space, right? What if one day it just dropped? Where would it drop to? If peanut butter wasn't called peanut butter, what would it be called? Is a hot dog a sandwich? If animals could talk, which one would be the rudest? If life were a video game, what would some of the cheat codes be for? Things I don't understand. Part 15. How did the person that invented the calendar know what day it was? Why does a round pizza come in a square box? Have you ever wondered what your dog named you? If a turtle doesn't have a shell, is it homeless or naked? What if when you sweat, it's actually your muscles crying? If a vampire bites a zombie, does the zombie become a vampire or does the vampire become a zombie? Do caterpillars know they're gonna be butterflies, or did they just build a cocoon and they're like, well, I wonder what this'll do? What would happen if everyone on Earth jumped into the oceans at the same time? How do you know you're not just crazy and hallucinating your whole life? Things I don't understand. Part 16. What is Bluetooth? Out of thin air, you're telling me that my phone can play music in my AirPods? Immediately no. Why do different species sleep for different amounts of time? Koalas sleep 22 hours a day. No offense, but why are you here? Giraffes, on the other hand, only 2 hours a day. Icons. Why doesn't my cat love me? Telescopes. There's no way you can see that far. Cause hear me out. So the moon is hundreds of thousands of miles away, right? So if you put, I don't know, my ex up there, you're telling me you could see him with a telescope? Immediately no. How do they make popping boba? Do they inject it in there, but it's so thin that would pop it? I don't get it. Why doesn't glue stick to the inside of the bottle?